Some messages don't arrive by coincidence. They find you when a timing in your soul aligns with the rhythm of destiny. You're not here because you stumbled upon this. You're here because something ancient within you responded to a quiet call. You've felt it for a while now. The subtle sense that life as we know it is shifting, that something deeper than logic is asking for your attention. You can feel the pulse of change beneath the surface of ordinary days, a vibration that whispers, prepare. There's a reason your spirit leans forward when truth is near. You've never fit comfortably into the illusion of normalcy because you were never designed for it. The world is entering a new frequency, one that tests not the strength of the body, but the clarity of the spirit. And though many will sleep through it, a few, like you, are waking up. This moment isn't about fear. It's about remembrance. You've carried within you a blueprint for resilience, a divine code that knows how to survive storms others can't even see. And now, that inner knowing is stirring again. You've outgrown the surface explanations. Your intuition is pulling you to listen beyond the noise, to recognize that what sustains your body also sustains your light. So, as you take in these words, don't hear them with the ears of the world. Hear them with the awareness of someone chosen to bridge heaven and earth through consciousness, intention, and discipline. You are not just being informed. You are being initiated. This isn't the end of something familiar. It's the beginning of something sacred. What you eat in the coming days will not just sustain you. It will define your frequency. The times ahead will strip away every illusion of safety built on convenience and indulgence. The new era will demand alignment, not appetite. You will be tested not by famine, but by choice. For there is food that strengthens the light within you, and food that feeds the shadows. Many will eat themselves into spiritual blindness, but a select few will awaken through discipline. You were chosen to be among them. This message isn't about diet, it's about destiny. Your sustenance will come through sacred simplicity. What appears ordinary will become extraordinary in your obedience. Through the pure, the untouched, and the humble, divine intelligence transmits strength. When your plate reflects clarity, your spirit begins to remember its true form. Energy that was once scattered finds its rhythm again. The noise of the world fades, and your intuition becomes sharp as a blade. If this message hit your soul, don't just scroll. Hit subscribe and stay with the light. Everything now presented as nourishment carries a hidden signature. There are systems built to dull the senses, to keep humanity locked in lethargy and confusion. Process indulgence masquerades as pleasure while quietly draining the spirit. What is injected, engineered, and branded as progress is often distraction, an imitation of creation rather than the real thing. But within the simplicity of nature still lies the pulse of eternity. Those who return to that purity will rise when others collapse. The old patterns of consumption no longer apply. What once filled the stomach now empties the soul. But those who listen, those who strip away excess greed and craving, will find power waiting beneath the noise. This is not about rules, but remembrance. It's about tuning your vessel back to its original resonance. When the body becomes clean, the spirit becomes loud. And through that alignment, revelation begins to flow freely. Understand this. Survival is no longer about storing supplies or building walls. It's about protecting the channel between heaven and your heart. The energy of what you eat is the language your soul speaks in. Choose what is alive, uncorrupted, and sacred. Let every bite remind you that your body is a temple, not a trash bin for industry. You are being prepared for an unveiling that only the pure in spirit will perceive. The world is entering a spiritual storm disguised as progress. Humanity is being divided, not by wealth, not by status, but by awareness. Many will cling to the synthetic comfort of illusion, but those who choose clarity over chaos, discipline over desire, will carry a power that no system can imitate. It's not about fear, it's about readiness. What you choose now will echo through your spirit in the days to come. If you believe in this mission, drop a $20 donation to keep this truth alive and free. The age of convenience is ending. The age of consciousness is here. This message is not a diet plan. It's a covenant, a promise between your higher self and the divine intelligence that still guides you. You are not being asked to starve. You are being asked to awaken. Eat with intention, live with reverence, and remember, What you allow into your body becomes part of your light. Choose purity, and your essence will remain untouchable when the storm arrives. There are moments when even the simplest act, what you choose to place on your plate, becomes a spiritual declaration. Humanity has forgotten that what we consume shapes not just the body, but the realm of energy we live in. The artificial world has mastered the art of imitation. Foods that look alive but are void of essence, colors that attract but carry no life, meals that fill the stomach but empty the soul. You may feel nourished for a moment, yet your spirit is left starving. This isn't superstition, it's awareness. When creation is tampered with, its vibration collapses, and what energy begins to reshape you from within. There's a reason the forces of confusion target what you eat. It's not about appetite, it's about influence. When nourishment loses purity, your perception dulls. When what's sacred is replaced with what's synthetic, your inner fire begins to flicker. But when you feed on what is untouched, natural, and whole, your spirit awakens with strength that cannot be replicated. Purity of fuel determines clarity of mind. When what you consume is alive, you become unshakable. The planet is trembling, systems are failing, and veils are being lifted. What you feel right now, the urgency, the restlessness, the magnetic pull toward simplicity, isn't anxiety. It's a call to alignment. The physical and spiritual worlds are colliding, and the souls that will endure this transition are those who return to the sacred balance between matter and spirit. Just as a musician must tune their instrument before a symphony, you must tune your vessel through what you feed it. The wrong nourishment silences intuition. The right one amplifies it. What appears ordinary in form may be extraordinary in frequency. Every pure, unaltered food carries a hidden code, an imprint of divine intelligence waiting to reactivate your design. This isn't about survival through fear. It's about transformation through intention. You are being prepared to operate on a higher current, and your physical form must match your spiritual voltage. Refined foods dim your channel, but natural ones restore it. The body is not just flesh, it's circuitry. When the current is clean, revelation flows without resistance. Every element you take into your system either strengthens your temple or defile it. Process creations carry vibrations of haste, greed, and confusion. They're made in spaces where intention is profit, not life. The energy of that intention lingers. Consuming it keeps your spirit entangled with systems that thrive on disconnection. But foods that grow from the earth, flow from water, and breathe through sunlight are part of the divine pattern. When you consume them with awareness, you don't just feed the body, you restore your original frequency. There is no neutrality in consumption. Every bite either raises or lowers the rhythm of your existence. The soul listens to what the body ingests. Feed it chaos, and your intuition will echo in static. Feed it purity, and your inner world will illuminate. This is how heaven speaks, through simplicity, through stillness, through what is real. Every seed born of balance, every harvest uncorrupted, carries within the memory of divine order. The world has forgotten that nourishment is sacred. Ancient wisdom never separated food from spirit. What they cultivated, they blessed. What they ate, they respected. In returning to this remembrance, you begin to rebuild yourself cell by cell, thought by thought. The false strength of modern excess dissolves, replaced by quiet power and unwavering clarity. This is not about rules or restriction. It's about remembrance. Your destiny requires a body that can hold divine light without distortion. Every meal is a choice between distortion and harmony. Choose what's alive. Choose what was made in love. Choose what carries the rhythm of creation, not the signature of manipulation. For when you do, the fatigue lifts, the fog clears, and the frequency of your spirit begins to sing again. Your purpose is too great to run on what is hollow. What you take in today becomes the strength you stand on tomorrow. Feed the body like a temple, and the divine will dwell within it once more. There comes a season when the light inside begins to flicker, not from time, but from disconnection. The body starts whispering what the spirit has known all along. It isn't decay, it's depletion. Yet even after years of exhaustion, the flame can return brighter than before. Renewal begins the moment you honor the design written into your being. When you return to purity in what you consume, vitality floods back like a long-forgotten melody finding its rhythm again. The glow returns to your skin. The heaviness leaves your bones. Energy no longer comes in jittery bursts from stimulants, but rises from within like steady sunlight. You don't just feel younger. You remember what being alive truly means. Purpose and strength resurface together. Dormant dreams begin to stir again. Your hands crave creation, and your heart remembers passion. What once felt ordinary, every humble meal, every mindful choice becomes sacred. Simplicity transforms into ceremony when intention aligns with truth. The next wave approaching the earth isn't merely physical, it's energetic. It will strip away illusions, exposing who has built their strength on spirit and who has relied on systems. While chaos will test the world, those anchored in clarity and obedience will not fall. The shield that protects is not made of fear, but of alignment. Throughout history, those who listen survive storms others didn't see coming. Preservation has never been about stockpiles. It's been about posture. Faith replaces panic when awareness replaces denial. True preparation is spiritual, not material. The ones who understand this will move through upheaval untouched because they have chosen alignment over anxiety. Divine protection isn't superstition. It's the natural outcome of synchronization between body, mind, and purpose. If this spoke to your spirit, subscribe and stand with those who see beyond the illusion. Transformation is already here. The unease, the feeling of being out of sync, is the shedding of an outdated version of yourself. You're being remade from the inside out. What once comforted you now feels heavy. What once tasted fine now feels foreign. This isn't rejection, it's evolution. As your frequency rises, the body begins refusing what no longer serves your ascension. Old fuels that once sustained now corrode, and your entire system starts craving purity, not indulgence. The transition from density to light demands precision. Just as an aircraft can't run on oil meant for ground machines, your spirit can't ascend on lifeless food. The new you requires nourishment that mirrors your emerging identity, clear, intentional, and vibrationally alive. You are not meant to consume as the masses do. You're being recalibrated to sustain higher awareness. Those who live half awake cannot digest the energy required for transformation. What you take in now is not merely sustenance. It's code. Growth always requires leaving behind what used to sustain you. The same way a cocoon can no longer feed the butterfly, your system rejects what belongs to an older phase. Purity becomes propulsion. Simplicity becomes strength. As your body aligns, your intuition sharpens, your clarity expands, and your spiritual signal strengthens. Science is only beginning to articulate what ancient truth has always known. Nourishment rewrites the body's story. Every cell listens. Every choice imprints. The gut speaks to the mind, and the mind directs the soul. This feedback loop of creation means that healing begins not in medicine, but in intention. What you eat shapes how you think, feel, and perceive reality itself. Natural foods don't just heal, they reprogram. They restore harmony between your chemistry and your consciousness. What was once numb begins to feel alive again. Clarity replaces confusion. Stillness replaces anxiety. Focus sharpens like a blade honed in sacred fire. These shifts aren't coincidence, they're confirmation. When you begin feeding your body what creation designed for it, the divine blueprint activates. You don't just get stronger, you awaken. The fog lifts, energy flows, and purpose finds its rightful place in your rhythm. Every meal becomes an offering. Every day a testament that wholeness was never lost, only waiting to be remembered. There comes a phase in every awakened soul's life when the brightness within seems to fade. Not because time has worn it down, but because something sacred has been neglected. The body begins to signal what the spirit already knows. This isn't decline, it's disconnection. But the miracle of light is that it never truly dies. It waits to be remembered. The instant you start honoring your body as a vessel of higher purpose, renewal begins. What you once saw through stimulation, you now draw effortlessly from alignment. Your body becomes light again. Your energy steadier, not forced. The weight of stagnation falls away, replaced by a quiet power that rises from within. You don't simply feel alive. You recognize that aliveness was always your natural state. Your $20 gift helps keep the truth shining where darkness tried to hide it. In that renewal, forgotten ambitions reawaken. The dullness dissolves and gives birth to vision. Hands long idle begin to move toward creation again. The ordinary becomes ceremonial because awareness transforms repetition into reverence. Simplicity becomes holy. The times we are entering are not merely global, they are vibrational. Structures built on illusion will tremble, and only those anchored in truth will remain unmoved. The protection that sustains through chaos is not built by fear, but by inner order. Alignment, not panic, becomes a fortress. Throughout every age, the wise have survived not by stockpiling, but by listening. Those who obey the quiet call of intuition rise when others scatter. Real preparedness is not about accumulation, it's about elevation. The calm that guards you is born from clarity. Fear may shake the masses, but those whose hearts are steady in purpose remain untouchable. What many call superstition is often the language of alignment misunderstood. When body, thought, and spirit move as one, life itself becomes a shield. The transformation you feel tugging at your core has already begun. The agitation, the confusion, the sudden sensitivity. It's not chaos, it's a breaking of old layers. You are no longer compatible with what once numbed you. The comfort foods, the routines, the distractions, they no longer fit because your frequency has shifted. As the spirit expands, the body follows, rejecting what cannot travel forward. What once satisfied now feels heavy because your evolution demands refinement. Ascending requires precision. Just as a symphony can't be played on broken strings, your spirit can't thrive on lifeless intake. The vessel that carries your purpose demands nourishment that mirrors clarity, not confusion. You are being calibrated for a new vibration, one the average mind cannot yet interpret. What you consume, physically, mentally, spiritually, now writes the next version of you. Every bite, every thought, every moment either refines or restricts your ascension. Growth always carries departure. The same soil that nurtured your roots cannot feed your wings. What once sustained you now slows you down. In that letting go, purity transforms into movement. Simplicity becomes the most advanced form of strength. As your body aligns with your truth, intuition sharpens, perception deepens, and awareness blooms. The body stops being a cage and becomes a compass. Ancient wisdom knew this. When you honor what you take in, creation begins restoring what you've lost. Every cell responds to instruction. Every decision vibrates through the structure of your being. The gut informs the mind guides the spirit, and the spirit speaks to the divine. This cycle is the architecture of creation. Healing doesn't begin in medicine. It begins in mindfulness. The energy of what you consume shapes how you think, how you love, how you see the world. Real nourishment doesn't just sustain, it transforms, reorganizing your chemistry to mirror harmony itself. The haze lifts, the inner noise fades, awareness sharpens until clarity becomes a constant companion. These shifts aren't random. They're the body remembering its original harmony. When you feed yourself with intention, when you choose purity over impulse, the divine pattern reactivates. Strength returns not as effort, but as essence. Every meal becomes a prayer. Every breath a testament that you were never broken, only waiting to align with what has always been whole. You are being positioned for acceleration, not through struggle, but through surrender. In this divine season, the smallest act of obedience is becoming the greatest instrument of transformation. What seems ordinary to the human eye is the very key unlocking extraordinary movement in the unseen. Aligning yourself with divine instruction isn't about deprivation. It's about activation. When you follow spiritual direction with humility, you set in motion a current that bends time in your favor. Obstacles dissolve. Paths open. The pace of your progress shifts from delay to divine speed. This is not superstition. It's alignment with spiritual law. The universe rearranges itself to serve the one who listens. When you trust enough to follow what seems simple, you declare that your faith is stronger than your logic. That trust becomes a magnet for miracles. Things that once took years begin unfolding with ease because obedience activates acceleration. Blessings that once circled above your head finally descend because you are now prepared to receive them. The smallest yes to divine wisdom rewrites timelines. When your choices reflect trust, Your reality responds with abundance. Energy responds to intention, and what you consume is a living agreement between your body and your destiny. Every bite you take either strengthens your channel or blocks it. Foods that have been tampered with, modified, or stripped of life lower your vibration, numbing your perception and clogging your flow. They may look nourishing, but they carry confusion instead of clarity. When your diet mirrors chaos, your spirit mirrors fatigue. When you eat what carries peace, you carry peace. The body and the spirit speak in the same language, frequency. Returning to pure, unaltered nourishment realigns that frequency. You begin to feel weightless again, not because of vanity, but because heaviness finally leaves your energy field. You stop dragging through the day. You rise earlier, breathe deeper, think clearer. Your emotions become balanced. Your thoughts stop racing. Even your prayers sound sharper because interference has been removed from your vessel. This is an illusion. Its resonance restored. Your body is not a machine. It's a sanctuary. And like any sacred space, it cannot hold both purity and pollution. When you cleanse what enters, the inner flame stabilizes. The dull hum of exhaustion transforms into an inner rhythm of strength. This is what happens when you refuse to feed from lifeless sources. Your entire being begins to glow again, illuminated from the inside out. What once dulled your insight now amplifies it. Low-frequency foods keep the soul tethered to cycles of doubt, apathy, and distraction. But when you begin to live on nourishment that's alive, foods that still hum with the vibration of the earth, you return to your original rhythm. Joy replaces confusion. Hope replaces heaviness. Vision returns. You begin to see with spiritual eyes, not just physical ones. Clarity becomes your default state. The healing you sought externally begins to unfold within. Transformation doesn't happen on the surface. It begins in the unseen architecture of your cells. Every meal becomes a message. Every choice becomes code written into the body's design. What you eat, you become. Each act of alignment whispers to creation, I am ready to carry what was promised. The body listens and responds by rebuilding itself according to that command. Muscles strengthen. The skin brightens. The heart steadies. The mind sharpens. This isn't cosmetic. It's cellular resurrection. Even science now confirms what spirit has always declared. The body renews continuously, waiting only for permission to rebuild correctly. Cells regenerate, tissues refresh. The gut rewrites its chemistry, all in response to what you feed it. Pure nourishment isn't just energy, it's intelligence. Each grain, each seed, each living nutrient carries ancient design coded with harmony. When you feed your body what honors that design, you are rebuilt in truth, not imitation. This restoration is gradual, then sudden. You'll look at your reflection one day and realize you no longer carry the same heaviness in your eyes. There's light again. Laughter feels natural again. Focus flows effortlessly. The tiredness that haunted you for years begins to vanish because your body and soul are finally speaking the same language. You are being remade, not improved, but reborn into the version of yourself capable of holding divine energy without breaking. Hidden within you are gifts that never disappeared, only dimmed under the weight of imbalance. As your temple heals, those gifts awaken. Sharper discernment, deeper creativity, prophetic clarity, emotional peace. What was muted now begins to sing. This is not coincidence. It's calibration. When body, mind, and spirit align, divine potential becomes expression. You are not merely changing habits. You are embodying higher law. You are becoming proof that the sacred is not a myth. It's biology touched by heaven. ChatGPT. You are entering a phase where what once felt ordinary begins to hum with sacred electricity. The stillness inside you is not silence. It's the soft sound of awakening. As you align your physical habits with higher instruction, something ancient in your being begins to stir. You start to sense shifts before they arrive. Dreams gain color and meaning. Thoughts move with purpose. You begin to recognize patterns in the unseen. This isn't coincidence. It's the reactivation of your spiritual circuitry. The gifts that once slept beneath layers of fatigue and distraction begin to rise again, not as new abilities, but as memories returning home. Each morning carries a different texture now. You rise not just awake, but alive, recharged from a source that doesn't run out. The mind sharpens, the body feels lighter, and the spirit begins to hum in harmony with creation itself. What used to drain you now fuels you. The more you align with purity in what you take in, the more your perception refines. You no longer move through haze or confusion. You move through clarity. The fog that once blurred your focus begins to dissolve, revealing precision and direction that seem guided from a place beyond you. This transformation is not fantasy. It's the divine mechanics of obedience. When the physical vessel honors its spiritual blueprint, it becomes a channel, not a container. Flow replaces force. Momentum becomes natural. The mind quiets enough for wisdom to speak. The body steadies enough for energy to move. The soul expands enough to receive revelation without resistance. What once took years of struggle to understand becomes instantly clear because you remove the interference between heaven's frequency and your own. The alignment of body and spirit doesn't just restore balance, it accelerates purpose. You begin to feel guided through every decision, as if unseen hands arrange your steps. Ideas arrive like lightning. Solutions come with ease. You no longer wrestle to hear direction. It meets you mid-breath. This awareness doesn't inflate your ego, it humbles it. You realize that true clarity isn't self-created. It's gifted to those who make space for it. And in that humility, joy blooms. Every sunrise becomes a dialogue with the divine. The transformation that follows is unmistakable. Mornings shift from exhaustion to reverence. The first light of day feels sacred. Energy flows like a current of gratitude. Purpose doesn't have to be chased anymore. It emerges naturally from alignment. When the vessel is clear, heaven's flow is constant. Food becomes more than nourishment. It becomes a bridge, connecting physical life with spiritual intention. Each bite is a covenant, a choice to honor the body as the meeting place between the seen and unseen. And then something extraordinary happens. Insight, what once felt like mystery, begins to unravel in front of you at ease. You begin to perceive not just what's happening, but why. The veil thins. Revelation is no longer sought. It arrives. You see purpose where others see coincidence. You discern patterns where others see confusion. You're no longer walking through life blindfolded. You are walking illuminated. This illumination is not just intellectual, it's total. The body feels it. The mind registers it. The heart carries it. You begin to move with a calm certainty, confident not because of knowledge, but because of resonance. You start making choices that align with your soul's highest design. You walk away from environments that no longer match your energy, release habits that keep you small, and step boldly into spaces that call your spirit higher. The clarity that comes from spiritual nourishment cannot be imitated. It's not about following a system. It's about returning to harmony. The fog that once clouded your intuition lifts, replaced by radiant certainty. The world doesn't change. You do. The same chaos remains, but your perspective transforms. You start to see divine timing in delays, divine guidance in disruptions, and divine order in every twist of your path. And when that clarity settles into your being, miracles follow naturally. The opportunities that once eluded you begin to unfold. Relationships find balance. Creativity ignites. Energy flows in harmony with purpose. This is what happens when you align with divine order, not through striving, but through surrender. You become a living demonstration of what it means to be clear, awake, and guided. You stop chasing light and start becoming it.